Hello guys! Welcome back to another episode of Curses, I'm in my pod. Last episode was fully dedicated to the Sentinel, some solo action in a weird frigate, but today I'm gonna change that and we're gonna go back to some small gang PvP. So I actually have 3 fights for you fellas, and these fights actually have 3 different difficulty settings. I know it's pretty, dumb to talk about difficulty settings on a game like EVE, but so sometimes it happens. Sometimes, depending on the people you find, you'll have an easier time or you'll end up in your pod. So, okay, without further delay, let's get into them. Okay fellas, I'm gonna start with the easiest fight, and just a quick introduction. Me and a couple mates came to a pocket, tried to mess with some fellas. I'm flying with Ada on a Arbitrator and also Boki on a Vexer, and I have RTB, that is my ult, on an Augur off-grid, ready and standby to provide some support. I love a lot to fly with support, and even in small numbers they make the whole difference. As for our opponents, you can see here a Legion and a Ferox, and this means that they starting to round up to kill us, because we've been in their pocket for too long and they're starting to bring stuff. Okay, let's take it. Okay, we see the Legion and the Ferox. We decide to go for the Legion. That's probably a juicy kill or bait. We don't care. We're here for a fight. So let's go for it. We decloak, go for the Legion and start burning at him. You can see that this is actually a Legion armed with missiles, and he has aggressed Boki. Boki is starting to get fire from both the Legion and the Ferox. The Ferox is a sniping Ferox. He's 100k away from us, so we're not gonna chase him. Railguns had just been rebalanced, so they were a thing at the time. And let's focus back on the Legion. You can see that the Legion is melting. He's actually active tanked. He wraps up some bits of armor from time to time, but against recruiters he's just going down way faster than he should. Still, easy kill, like I said, and there's the Ferox cannot really help him much, and even Boki, that is being shot by both of them, is not taking pretty much any damage, and there goes the Legion. Okay, even though the Legion died, the Ferox is on the field, and at this point we really had nothing else to do, so Ada started to burn at the Ferox to see if he could catch him, but we don't really have much faith of catching him at this point. He's already micro-driving away, he's aligning out, he's feeling comfortable because he's 100k off us, and well, there he goes. He was starting to feel uneasy with Ada approaching. Still, these guys weren't giving up just yet. I kept warping around, looking for targets, and you can see a damnation on D-scan, and this is very important. Always D-scan. If you're going around, if you're looking for targets, whatever you do, you should always be D-scanning. D-scan are your eyes. So, okay, I land on a gate with a damnation. Right now I know they're trying to hunt us, so my priority is to check the other side of the gate. It's always important to know what's on the other side of the gate. And there's nothing. Okay, good. So basically I wait a bit to see what happens. He decloaks, I'm gonna go for him. So, oh well, what can go wrong? I decloak, there we go. Let's try to get a scram on him, and I got a scram. At this point I'm already calling my mates, because if he tries to burn back to the gate, I'm gonna need to try to bump him. And, well, no, that will not be needed, because he has just aggressed me. Okay, very well. Let's go for it. Right now my primary objective is to survive and hold the target until my backup arrives, so let's overload there the hardener a bit, and Ada has already arrived, and Boki too, and at the same time they have a Jaguar, so yeah, the Damnation is going to take a bit to kill, so we decide to primer the Jag instead. And quite honestly, the Damnation is actually going down pretty fast. He should not go down as fast. So they're really not properly fitted. Okay, Jaguar is dead. At this point I also brought my Logi just now, and I need to give some reps to Ada. Ada was starting to get shot at, and there we go. Some more jump-ins. Okay, we're seeing a few more jump-ins. We don't really know, and they're decloaking, and this was actually perfect for us because the backup for the Damnation just decloaked as the Damnation was about to die. They arrived pretty much too late. The primary target is without many doubts the Hurricane, because it is the highest DPS ship and the one with the lower tank, so of course primary the Hurricane. The Drake is being pointed by one of my other mates, so he's not gonna go anywhere, and this fight is pretty much over. Unless they have some ace up their sleeve, there's nothing more they can do. Just before the Drake dies, there's a Thorax that jumps through and decloaks, but even though he targets us, he decides it's best just to burn back to the gate and jump out, so yeah, good call there. So okay, let's recap the fight a bit. Most probably, if you're an inexperienced player, you are probably thinking something in the lines of Tech-on cruisers are overpowered, and it's understandable that inexperienced players might think that because we just engaged the Damnation, we just engaged the Legion, we just engaged battle cruisers, and we pretty much own them all. But, truthfully, if you're a veteran, you'll be thinking something along the lines of meh, guys messing with miners and industrials. The correct answer is of course the second one, and experience is a very important factor. Alongside with experience comes everything else, comes the ship types, comes the fitting types, comes everything else. If you have experience, there's a good chance you'll be able to beat your foes even in a situation where apparently you're in bad position, but not so much if you know what to do. So just some quick notes about the engagement. This particular case everything came down to execution. We were always a tight pack, my gang was always close to me, and on the other side, the opposing gang, even though they formed a plan and they tried to bait us and then overpower us, they did not manage to execute that move properly due to arriving too late or too soon, so everything came down to execution. So experience, execution sometimes can beat or many times can beat ship types. Okay, moving on to the second engagement. This battle summary is actually not the fight I'm going to show you, but it is pretty much how everything started. It started with me and Mr. Ball going out through a wormhole, going griefing some Care Bears. We managed to kill a Drake, we managed to kill a Thorax, and then they brought a bit too much and I died, ending up in my pod. Mr. Ball actually survived in structure, so he continued to go and kill more stuff while I had to come back home and reship or go away or something. And then Mr. Ball goes and comes. Hey man, I just found some more fellas, they're trying to kill me. And I reply, oh? Yeah, Hurricane, Proteus, Raven, Crow. But unfortunately, it was probably a bit too much for the two of us. So then suddenly TeamSpeak goes, new user joined channel. And how about that? It's Kaloon! With 3 guys active, we had more than enough to take on these fellas, and I personally could dual tab, so we had 4 tunes, and I decided to bring a Drake and a Brutix, and Kaloon brought the support in the form of a Scimitar. So we are indeed shipping up a bit, because we're talking about battle cruisers, tech trees, battleships, and they have the home advantage. They can always reship. You need to count that they might reship somewhat, so yeah. Now, what I'm about to say right now is extremely important, because finding targets in nullsec or wherever is hard, and it's even harder to maintain them. In this particular case, Mr. Ball found these fellas, but we were still 5-6 jumps away. We needed to reship, Kalun needed to log, we needed to arrive to the wormhole, to the system where Mr. Ball was griefing them. And I've already shown in previous episodes how you can stir up the pot, how you can grief some fellas, how you can keep him interested, but I'm gonna repeat a bit. Mr. Ball cannot leave the system, he cannot go back home and reship into a more powerful ship and then come back after making 10 jumps and expecting people to see there, to stay there for to wait to be killed. They don't even know if the prey is gonna come back. So it's a very delicate balance. It requires a lot of experience also. We call it stir up the pot, poke the bear, but generally you need to almost be God, you need to stick around, you cannot just bail and run away from them and be invulnerable or go to a safe spot and wait for them to they'll just go away, your praise will just go away. So he needed to stick around and grief them, and that's what he did. Mr. Ball was able to kill the only target that he could effectively kill solo, and that was the crow that was chasing him, and stabbers are very good at killing tackle. And not only that, the crow pilot came back, and Mr. Ball proceeded by killing him again. You can actually see that the fella reshipped the second crow in a very fast manner without even fitting guns or rigs. He just really wanted to have tackle so that his friends, the Hurricane, the Proteus, and all those fellas could get on top of Mr. Ball. Still, Mr. Ball was kind of manipulating them and putting them in position. So, even more important than killing a couple crows is that Mr. Ball managed to drag the opponents to where we wanted. He managed to drag the opposing fleet to the system where we had the wormhole, and from that point he just kind of played bait. He managed to have the Proteus aggressed, we jumped through and we warped to Mr. Ball. This is, one more time, a very critical moment, because our foes saw the local spike and they may choose to disengage. Hopefully Mr. Ball is tackling one of them, and if they decide to run away, we can try to kill at least one. Okay, our bait friend Mr. Ball is tackling the Proteus, but the Proteus had the aggressed, so he's hugging the gate and we're not gonna be able to kill him, so we're not even worrying too much about the Proteus. Mr. Ball was forced to warp off. You can see him warping off, and you can see there in the watch list he just disappeared because he was forced to warp off. And you can also see that the Raven micro jump drived away. The Raven was 15 away from me and now he is 85 away from me. This is a very bad situation. We pretty much have nothing tackled, and it's really pointless to shoot at the Proteus. He will just jump out if we start aggressing him. Let's see what develops. We just had a new jump in, and not only that, you can see that Kalun in our scimitar is getting aggressed by the Raven. The Raven is armed with cruise missiles. The Proteus warped off, and you can see the Jaguar burning at the scimitar. Hurricane also jumped in, and I'm gonna go for the Hurricane. That's pretty much close to us, and it's a high DPS ship. Unfortunately, Kalun is starting to be in a difficult position. He's tackled by the Jaguar and he's being aggressed by the Raven. So they're actually doing a good job, and the job is precisely tackle the damn scimitar, go for the Logi. Hurricane is also going down, and I put my ECM drones on the Jaguar. Kalun is starting to getting worried there, but fortunately Mr. Ball arrives and is able to provide some backup to Kalun, hopefully shoving away the Jag. The Jaguar actually warped off because he did not want to mess with Mr. Ball, and we managed to kill a Hurricane. Okay, we were in a bit of a bad spot there, with Kalun on the scimitar tackled and being aggressed, but right now the situation is under control and we did manage to kill one of their DPS ships. the Raven is 90 away from me, so I really have no chance other than start burning. And so is Mr. Bull. Mr. Bull is also trying to burn at the Raven, although it's really not gonna matter much because we know that the Raven has a micro jump drive, Mr. Bull has a long point, and the Proteus comes back in. Okay, let's see what develops. Right now at this point, Mr. Bull should have tried to make some range, because the last thing he wants is to get scrammed by the Proteus, but this is unfortunately exactly what happened. He was scrammed by the Proteus, although it's really not a big problem because we do have Logi support. And the Jaguar is back on the field. Okay, this could become a problem. You see, the Stabber was indeed what was protecting the Logi. The Stabber being scrammed and is going down, Mr. Bull with the Stabber is going down, we have pretty much nothing that will shove that annoying Jaguar away. I'm fortunately starting to get in range, and the primary target is the Proteus, mostly because it's the most expensive ship there, and Mr. Bull having a long point, there is really not much use in pointing the Raven that we know that has a micro jump drive. So okay, both my tunes are already on top of the targets, and right here I have to make what I call a painful decision. I had to scram the Jaguar instead of scramming the Raven. I have my other tune planners scramming the Proteus. The Proteus is not going anyplace, but I had to scram the Jaguar for a simple reason. He had already proven to be a threat to our Logi. If within the next 2 minutes he is left alone and checked, he could turn the tide of the battle again. So I have to make the painful decision of shooting the damn Jag while having a juicy Raven really next to me. Okay, I'm getting ready to scram the Raven. As soon as the Jaguar goes down, I will switch my scram to the Raven. Okay, Jaguar is down, it's time to switch the scram to the Raven. Let's go. And the micro jump drive away from 10k is off to 100k. Yes, of course, figures. I could not have killed the Jaguar 5 seconds before. No. But, oh well. Anyway, we still have to finish off the Proteus. His ECM drones are not gonna jam 3 DPS ships that are right now on top of him. And there is also another player, and that is the Condor, but he gets too close and Mr. Bull manages to kill him again. The Condor pilot was actually the Crow pilot that had reshipped into a Condor. He probably ran out of interceptors. And our concern right now is that the locals might bring some sort of backup before the Proteus dies, because he actually has a great tank, and we're just hoping that no. And suddenly, I don't really know what happened. I lost all my logs, I lost everything, I'm not being jammed by the ACM drones, and I am completely confused. I need to gain lock again at the Proteus before he understands that we lost lock. Okay, there we go again, and he's tackled again, he's scrammed again, because everybody in my fleet lost the scram and the point on the Proteus for a brief time. We did not even understood what was happening there until we checked the kill mail. When we did check the kill mail, we saw that the Proteus had an ECM burst. This is actually the first time ever we've seen somebody use an ECM burst. Just a quick summary, and the most important issue here was that we formed up for them, we knew what they had, and we formed up and we went after them. So this is actually a huge advantage when you know when your foe has, well, certain ships or certain amounts or whatever. So we did have an advantage there, we did exploit that advantage, but on the other hand they had the home advantage. They were one jump away from their home system, they could reship quickly, and the Crow did reship it 3 times. They could have any backup arriving soon. Anybody that has engaged these fellas very far away knows how fast their backup can come. And for me the most painful decision was in fact scrambling a Jaguar instead of the Raven, but it was still the right call because we did not knew what was going to happen 1 minute after, and we could regret still having a tackler moving around, so well, just get rid of him. But it was a painful fought decision. I would make it the same decision, but still just annoying. Okay, finally for the last fight, and the scenario is a bit different. This is basically two gangs that meet themselves in some random system. We are far from home, they are far from home, there will be no reshipping, there will be probably no backup from their part, definitely not from ours. And actually we had been testing the waters for a bit. We actually jumped into them one or two times with the whole fleet and burned back to the gate, see what they would do, and they would aggress us, but they would not chase us. So if we wanted a fight, we would have to provoke it and, well, jump into them. We also knew that they had links in this GM dash system, probably one of the reasons they did not want to jump out. And our numbers are pretty much even. They are Tech 2 ships and Tech 3, and we have Tech 1 and the faction. They still have a curse as backup that it was inside for NDT, and we don't really know where it is right now. But they do have a curse too. The thing was probably 100 MN, so you know, I think this is more or less balanced as it gets on Eve, of course, although they do have superior ship types and they are playing a very defensive role. They're not chasing us, they're waiting, oh no, let's stay in our system where we have links. And you know what? We were far away from home and we decided, let's just go for it. Okay, very well. We all jump in, we all decloak at the same time, and the primary target is the scimitar. We just burned at the scimitar and shooted it with overloaded guns. The reason the scimitar did not jump out, it was because he was wrapping the saber, and the saber himself had aggressed us, so the scimitar was also aggressed, and he could not do anything. They were actually all hugging the gate because they were thinking that we would probably run away again or jump out again, like we did previously for two times. We managed to kill the scimitar, but we lose Blythar in the thorax. And also here is where I make the huge mistake. I call out the eagle as primary target instead of the saber or even the vagabond. You can see up there Quar, our scythe, our logi taking damage from both the vagabond and the saber. They're on top of our mate, they're on top of our logi, and I'm asking the fleet to shoot at the damn eagle. This is a mistake I made due to inexperience. I had never really fought an eagle before, so I just kept pressing on, but it became obvious that we needed to do something. So Sigma told me, hey dude, the eagle is not gonna break before we all die, the scythe is already down, we need to switch targets, I have the vagabond tackled. And when Sigma told me that, I ended up taking his advice, and we started to primary the vagabond. We started to burn at the vagabond. Unfortunately, the damage was already done to my fleet. I'm actually already being primaried by the enemy gang. I'm going down quite quickly. I am actually overloading my microdrive, trying to burn away from the damage incoming from the Tengu especially, and trying to apply some DPS to the Vagabond at the same time. And the Vagabond is actually melting quite nicely. There was no reason for me not to call it beforehand. Nevertheless, I bump on the gate, losing all my momentum, and boom, dead pod, there I go. From this moment onward, Sigma took over the fleet, calling the shots, and the best thing I could actually do was actually keep my mouth shut and not interfere anymore. I had already done enough. We did then manage to kill the Vagabond, although we lost Havoc in the Jaguar. Also, the primary target is the Saber, Emor Fang, that will die shortly, and there goes, the Saber also died. The new primary target is the Pilgrim. Unfortunately, I cannot target anything on my pod, so I cannot really show you guys how fast the Pilgrim is going down, but he did already had some armor damage before, and boom, there goes the Pilgrim. Right now it's only the Tengu and the Eagle on the field. We still have 3 DPS ships on the field, so Sigma decides to call the Tengu as primary, and people start to, of course, chase the Tengu. Unfortunately, it's a 100 MN Tengu. Right now is moving 3000 plus meters per second, and we are a shield fleet ourselves, so we don't really have webs on our side fleets. So catching Tengu is going to be hard. He's doing flybys around us, and he's just kiting us and throwing missiles at us. Not only we cannot easily catch Tengu, nor easily break the Eagle's tank, they just had the backup from a curse at the same time that Vindicate Black Ops in a side fleet is losing shields and is pretty much forced to warp off. On a somewhat different perspective, the arrival of a curse does present us with a new target. So Sigma decides to call the curse the new primary, because effectively the Tengu was just burning too much. Sigma right here will actually try to tackle the curse. There you can see the notifications, they're tackling the curse, but unfortunately the same problem once again. No webs because we're in a shield fleet, and we also don't really have any scramblers, so the curse just continued to kite away. In addition, the curse is focusing the nodes onto Nikor, that is our Jaguar, so it's the only scrambler we got in fleet, and it's completely muted by now. And you can see the watchlist Sigma about to go down too. At this point it's pretty much obvious we're not going to be able to do anything else. Sigma dies and he makes the call for people to warp off and, well, abandon the field. So okay, we went a crap load of jumps, ended up in a system I never heard of, and we had a very nice skirmish. And the question arises, did we win? As always, only if there is not one straight answer. I mean, they did kill more ships than we killed from them. We did kill ships more valuable. Managing a 71% efficiency is wise, although we failed massively by not killing the really prized jewel that would be the Tengu, probably faction fitted, and we did outnumber them during the fights. The curse arrived only in the end of the match, we can say, and they did had also Loki links. We did not have any links. I'm pretty sure the Loki links influenced the result, but you know what, I can tell you that also influenced the result, and this really needs to be addressed. What mostly influences the result of a skirmish or any battle really are your choices, especially small gang PvP where players are pretty much autonomous, and having one more guy or making one bad call can turn the tide of the engagement. Choices, decisions, and, well, experience. In this particular case, I chose to primary the Eagle, and my corp mates abided by my will and they enforced it, giving me their support. But it became obvious it was a wrong choice. And why did I make this wrong choice at the time? Very simple answer, and I already gave it previously in this episode. This case, inexperience. I really had never fought an Eagle before. I played Eve for what, 4 years. I probably saw 2 Eagles in all my life. I did not expect them to have such a massive tank. Yeah, I know the stats and all that, but it's different when you face it head on. And well, it's if I had made a different choice, like primering the Vagabond or the Saber at this point, we might have fared way better, and we didn't. It was inexperience that from my part that dictated the loss, and well, this is just how it is. Okay fellas, this is all for today. Like I said, 3 engagement, 3 different difficulty settings, and well, as for the curses, I'm on my pod blog. I'm actually having stuff in real life. Real life is catching up with me. If you've been a subscriber, you probably already noticed it, that the frequency of my videos has been diminishing. I've been trying to maintain like 1 or 2 videos per month. This has been hard, and I don't really know what the future holds me. So basically, I'm not shutting down, but I'm reducing a lot, and from this point I cannot really promise you guys content for 1 episode a month, although I'd love to. And what I really want you guys, I want you guys to go out there and try to kill stuff and have fun, especially on top of all. Don't be a zombie, don't wait for people to give you stuff, and don't complain when something goes wrong, try to see it, try to focus it, try to make better the next time, and just go out there and having fun if it's a great game. And with that, I catch you next time, whenever that might be. See ya!